Hello, my friend. It's me again. I am Dr. Orfaly, and I would like to continue talking to you with these series with topics about the low carb, high fat diet and lifestyle. Today, I would like to talk to you about the importance of the fat. The fat is a very important part in our food, and unfortunately, we have been deprived of this nutrient in our diet since the establishment of this conventional diet, which made us fat and made us sick with too many diseases, including the cardiovascular diseases, dementia, and of course diabetes, high blood pressure, all the diseases that caused the problem in our health. And now the fat contains, first it contains the cholesterol, and the cholesterol is very important to our life. In fact, it is so important that I'll give you an example. The brain, our brain is made of 60% is made of fat, and 1/3 of this fat is cholesterol. So the cholesterol is very essential. It is part of the cells. It is, the wall, the cell has a wall, and usually this wall integrity is very important for the survival of this cell. To the point that if the cell is unable to maintain an intact membrane, then the cell will just die, and for this this wall is composed mainly of the fat. So whenever we are forced just to eat food with very low fat, especially saturated fat and low in cholesterol, and all this is forced in our diet, then the amount of the amount necessary to keep the maintenance of the cell wall would be deficient, and we would not be able to maintain a healthy cells in our body. And that's for instance, Alzheimer's disease, that is something new for humanity. It is not, we just take it now for granted that when we get older we should really have problem with the memory and with every function in every mental function, but that was not the case in the past. This all just occurred recently whenever we administered this bad conventional diet in our life. So the cholesterol and the fat is very essential for the survival of the cell. And I just gave you an example, the brain, but every cell, we're talking about the heart cells, we're talking about the lung cells. All organs in our body is composed of cells, of course, and these cells has this essential survival to maintain their walls and with a sufficient amount of fat. So that's number one. And number two, the cholesterol, as I mentioned to you previously, it is the fire worker, it's the fireman, it is the guy that would come whenever there is any kind of inflammation in our body in order to repair the damage. So what happened really that this cholesterol was accused in the past to be responsible for the heart diseases, and that's because the cholesterol, when it is cold in an area where there is an inflammation, let's say it's the blood vessel wall, whenever the cholesterol is called for repair, the cholesterol is going to put layer after layer on this wall, trying to repair it from the damage that occurred. And over time, that will develop narrowing of the blood vessel, and then eventually the patient will develop heart attack. And if we check in pathology, if we check this wall, this vessel, we find a lot of cholesterol, and they say, "Oh, you see, that's the cholesterol that caused that." But the cholesterol, if there was no inflammation to start with, it will not be called to form this layer. And if this inflammation is rare or very low, then the layers would not be formed in great concentration, layer after layer, to form the thickening of the artery. So the cholesterol is really not responsible for that. It is the inflammation, and we have really to concentrate now as physicians to treat the inflammation, which is all of us, we know that it's coming from a high carbs diet, or at least I could say high carbs diet is the most important factor initiating and maintaining this inflammation in our body. So the cholesterol, for instance, the concentration of cholesterol in the milk of the mother that is breastfeeding, it's so high, it's very elevated. This is because it is very important for the survival and the good health of the baby. And so that's the other also important part in our in the fat is also that it is all the vitamins. The most important vitamins are fat soluble. So whenever we introduce this diet, which is very rich in carbs and very low in fat, then we caused malnutrition because our diet is deficient in basically the vitamins that are required in our body. So, for instance, the jaw of the people, of human being, became smaller because of deficiency in vitamin K. And you see now every other person, they have to use braces during their development. You look at all these kids, every other one, they have braces in their mouth in order to try to fix this problem that occurred because of the jaw, that it became narrow. Our jaw became narrow. And also, our generations, I mean, the recently a human being became shorter, and that is because of the lack of vitamin K. These are just examples of the importance of the fat in our diet. And then whenever we eat fat, as I told you, as a main component in our food, the leptin, the hormone that is secreted by the fat cells, would not really cause. It will just be liberated in the blood, and it will go to the brain and tell the brain to stop eating. It tells you need to stop to eat, and this is very accurate mechanism. In fact, if it is working, then you will never get fat, and you will not eat much more than what you need, because I cannot count for you how many calories you need every day, because this is something variable. So whenever a doctor tell you that you need to take like 3,000 calorie a day, or 2,000 calorie a day, or 1,500 calorie a day, or 1,400. This is all guesstimates. It is not real numbers. Nobody can really determine how many calories you can get. But the leptin that is liberated from your cells whenever you eat fat, it will go to the brain and tell your brain to stop eating just in time before your stomach is full 4 times its capacity and your capacity to digest and to and then you will convert all that into fat tissues in your body and develop obesity. So this hormone, it will be blocked, unfortunately, if the insulin level is elevated. And as I told you, the insulin level will just shoot up and increase in our circulation when we eat what? When we eat too much carbohydrates. Whenever we eat too much carbohydrates, that will stimulate large amount of insulin in the circulation in order to clear this sugar, because this is the status of emergency in the blood, to clear the sugar and push it into the cells and convert it into fat. Because if the sugar is elevated in our blood, this is like really very serious and harmful to the body. So that's what the insulin has to do. And but if you don't eat sugar, then the insulin will not shoot up, and that is not going. There is no nothing is going to block your leptin from working. So that's what I wanted to tell you in this video, and we will keep going hopefully with these subjects all the time, and I will try to record to you another lecture, maybe a small lecture, maybe today or tomorrow, please leave me your comment, and if you could join this my group. It's low carb, high fat diet and lifestyle. Thank you very much for participating and for liking this video and sharing it with others. And if you have any questions or comment, do not hesitate to put it in. Thank you. See you.